How do you think our ancestors survived for thousands of years without pharmacies, hospitals, or modern medicine? When someone was sick, wounded, or exhausted, what do you think happened to them? Unlike today, where we turn to pills and modern medicine every time we have a simple flu, our ancestors turned to something far simpler and far older than any pill bottle, their gardens, and to their plants, which had amazing healing characteristics. Before we go on, we are glad to have you here to learn with us and help us grow. Now, what many people don't realize is that some of the most powerful plants ever used for healing appear in one of the oldest and most influential books in human history, the Bible. Most of the plants we have explored in this video, and others we have not mentioned, were not just symbolic references or poetic metaphors for these people. They were part of their everyday life. They healed wounds, nourished families, soothed illness, and sustained entire communities across deserts, mountains, and villages. Today, thousands of years later, modern science is beginning to confirm what ancient people seemed to understand instinctively. Many of these biblical plants contain remarkable compounds that support healing, nutrition, and overall health. In this video, we are going to explore several plants mentioned in the Bible that continue to play an important role in natural health today. We will look at how they used these plants then, and how people still use it in kitchens, gardens, and homes today. And stay with me to the end, because the last plant we will discuss here was considered so valuable in ancient times that it was offered as a sacred gift to royalty. Plant number 4 may be the best anti-inflammatory plant on this video. And the plant number 8 has been acknowledged by scientists as one of the most nutritionally powerful foods in the world. Also, we will be giving out a free PDF booklet containing nuggets on how to prepare these plants at home, including some simple recipes in the pinned comment section to make it easy for you to go through these plants at your own time. So kindly subscribe to stay tuned for that, and to also get notified when we post new videos like this every week. Let's begin with a plant that was so essential in biblical times that it became a symbol of prosperity, blessing, and health across the entire Mediterranean world. It appears dozens of times in scripture, and even today, it remains one of the most important foods ever produced by human civilization. We are talking about olives. Olive plants are widely known as plants of life and healing, and we shall find out why shortly. For people living in the ancient lands of the Bible, the olive tree was more than just a crop. It was a source of food, medicine, light, and wealth. Entire communities depended on olive trees for survival. In fact, the olive tree appears so frequently in scripture that it became a powerful symbol of peace, prosperity, and divine blessing. One of the most famous biblical references to the olive tree appears in the story of Noah. In Genesis chapter 8, verse 11, after the great flood, Noah released a dove to search for signs that the waters had begun to recede. When the bird returned, it carried something remarkable in its beak, an olive leaf. That day, the simple olive leaf became a symbol of renewal, hope, and restoration after catastrophe. But beyond its symbolism, the olive tree was one of the most important plants in everyday biblical life. Olives were eaten as food, pressed into oil for cooking, used as fuel for lamps, and applied to the skin as medicine. In fact, olive oil was so valuable that it was sometimes referred to as liquid gold. The Bible also frequently describes olive oil being used for healing. In the New Testament, the book of James, chapter 4, verse 14, refers to olive oil in a context of care and restoration, where sick people were anointed with olive oil to get well. Ancient healers recognized that olive oil had remarkable soothing and protective qualities, and today, modern science confirms many of those ancient observations. Olive oil is rich in powerful antioxidants known as polyphenol, as well as healthy monounsaturated fat that support heart health and reduce inflammation. Researchers have found that people who consume olive oil regularly, especially as part of traditional Mediterranean diets, tend to have lower risks of heart disease and improved overall longevity. But olive oil's usefulness goes far beyond nutrition. For thousands of years, people have applied olive oil directly to the skin to protect, moisturize, and heal. Because olive oil is rich in vitamin E and natural antioxidants, it helps support the skin's barrier and may assist in repairing minor dryness and irritation. Many traditional cultures still use olive oil as a natural remedy for dry skin, cracked hands, and even scalp care. So how can this ancient biblical plant be used in everyday life today? The simplest way is also the most traditional. Use high-quality extra virgin olive oil as a regular part of your meals. It works wonderfully when drizzled over vegetables, salads, or bread. Use it when cooking whole foods. Replace processed oils with olive oil whenever possible as a culinary choice, and is one of the healthiest dietary habits supported by decades of nutritional research. One of the easiest traditional remedies is a skin-soothing olive oil blend. To make it, combine 2 tablespoons of olive oil with a few drops of lemon juice and a teaspoon of honey. This mixture can be gently applied to dry skin as a natural moisturizing mask. Leave it on for about 15 minutes before rinsing with warm water. The olive oil nourishes the skin, the honey helps retain moisture, and the lemon provides gentle cleansing. Another beautiful and practical use of olives themselves is in a simple Mediterranean-style dish that people have enjoyed for centuries. A classic preparation involves combining olives with olive oil, garlic, herbs, and lemon. Take 1 cup of whole olives and place them in a bowl. Add 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, 1 minced clove of garlic, a squeeze of fresh lemon juice, and a sprinkle of dried oregano or thyme. Stir everything together and let the mixture sit for about 10 minutes. The result is a flavorful, nutrient-rich snack that reflects the same ingredients people have enjoyed in Mediterranean regions for generations. It is simple, wholesome, and deeply connected to the ancient agricultural traditions of the biblical world. And that is perhaps the most fascinating part of the olive tree's story. Thousands of years ago, people harvested olives by hand, crushed them with stone presses, and used the oil for cooking, healing, and lighting their homes. Today, even with all our modern technology, olive oil remains one of the healthiest and most respected foods on earth. The next plant needs no introduction as well. The plant was widely used by ancient people for wounds, fragrance, medicine, and even sacred rituals. We are talking about aloe vera.
Aloe vera is called the healing plant of the ancient world for good reason. When we read the Bible, aloe appears not simply as a plant, but as something precious and valuable. One of the most striking references appears in the Gospel of John during the burial of Jesus. The scripture, in John 19, verse 39, tells us that Nicodemus brought a mixture of myrrh and aloe, about 75 pounds, to prepare the body for burial. This was an important ritual symbolizing healing, purification, and honor. Aloe was used in sacred preparation, medicinal treatments, and in making off perfumes. It was a trusted part of everyday life. But aloe's story begins even earlier in biblical tradition. In the Old Testament, aloe is mentioned among fragrant plants that symbolized beauty, abundance, and blessing. In the book of Psalms, chapter 45, verse 8, we find reference to beauty, where a mixture of aloe, myrrh, and cassia were considered the definition of wonderful and luxurious fragrance. Although aloe was respected as a fragrance, it was also an important plant for its healing properties, and that reputation has endured for thousands of years. Today, aloe, particularly the species known as aloe vera, is one of the most widely used medicinal plants in the world. The thick, succulent leaves of the aloe plant contain a clear gel packed with natural compounds that help the body repair itself. This gel contains vitamins, enzymes, amino acids, and antioxidants that support skin healing and reduce inflammation. Many people are familiar with aloe as a treatment for sunburn. Anyone who has spent too long under the sun knows the soothing relief that aloe gel can provide when applied to irritated skin. But the healing properties of aloe go beyond sunburn. For centuries, people have used aloe gel to treat small cuts, burns, insect bites, and minor skin irritations. The gel forms a protective layer over the skin while helping the body repair damaged tissue. Modern research suggests that aloe may help stimulate collagen production, which plays a crucial role in skin repair and regeneration. In other words, the same plant that ancient people trusted to soothe wounds is still widely used in dermatology and skincare today. But aloe's usefulness does not end with topical treatments. In many cultures, aloe is also used in small amounts as a digestive tonic. Certain preparations of aloe juice are believed to support digestion and gut health when used properly and carefully. Of course, it is important to prepare aloe correctly because the outer layer of the plant contains compounds that can be too strong for internal use if not handled properly. So how do people safely use aloe at home today? One of the simplest ways is by harvesting the gel directly from the plant. If you have an aloe plant growing in a pot or garden, you can cut one of the thick outer leaves close to the base of the plant. After rinsing the leaf, carefully slice it open lengthwise and scoop out the clear gel inside. This gel can be applied directly to the skin to soothe burns, dry patches, or minor irritations. However, a word of caution here. Some people may find the latex in aloe vera a bit irritating to the skin. To counter this, ensure you let the cut leaf relax for a few minutes to allow the latex to seep out. Many people also store fresh aloe gel in the refrigerator for a cooling effect when applied to sunburn. Another popular preparation is a simple aloe skin soothing mixture. To make it at home, combine 2 tablespoons of fresh aloe gel with a small spoonful of coconut oil and a few drops of vitamin E oil. Mix gently and apply to the dry or irritated skin. This blend helps moisturize the skin while allowing aloe's natural healing properties to do their work. Aloe vera can also be incorporated into refreshing drinks when properly prepared. A simple aloe drink can be made by blending a small amount of carefully cleaned aloe gel with water, lemon juice, and a teaspoon of honey. The result is a light, refreshing beverage that many people enjoy for its mild taste and potential digestive benefits. Another plant that doesn't get much recognition but has quietly and unassumingly protected human health for thousands of years is the garlic.
Its smell is unmistakable. Its flavor is powerful. It ranks right next to your favorite onions. But in this video, we focus on garlic and its reputation as a healing plant. Garlic appears in the Bible in a moment that gives us a fascinating glimpse into everyday life during the time of Moses. In the book of Numbers, the Israelites had already left Egypt and were traveling through the wilderness. The desert journey was difficult, and many people began to long for the foods they had once eaten. In that moment of frustration and nostalgia, according to Numbers 11 verse 5, the people began listing the foods they remembered from Egypt. And guess who was on that list? Your favorite old garlic plant, besides leeks, onions, melons, and cucumbers. These people must have been so hungry. Garlic was valued for flavor, and because people knew it helped keep them healthy. Egyptian workers who built pyramids were reportedly given garlic daily to maintain strength and endurance. Greek soldiers carried it before battle, believing it improved stamina. Ancient healers prescribed it to fight infections and protect against illness. Today's scientists were able to connect the healing characteristics of garlic to a powerful compound known as allicin. When garlic is crushed or chopped, this compound is released, and it has remarkable biological effects. Allicin has been shown to help fight bacteria, support the immune system, and even help regulate blood pressure. Garlic also contains antioxidants that help protect the body's cells from damage caused by inflammation and oxidative stress. In simple terms, garlic helps the body defend itself. Garlic is not just medicine, it is also nourishment, and has been a cornerstone of cooking across cultures for thousands of years. The simplest way to use garlic today is the same way people have used it for centuries, in everyday meals. Adding fresh garlic to soups, vegetables, meats, and grains not only enhances flavor, but also delivers its natural health-supporting compounds. Garlic can also be used in simple home preparations, and one popular traditional preparation is garlic-infused honey. This mixture has been used for generations as a natural remedy during cold and flu season. To prepare it, take several fresh garlic cloves and gently crush them to release their natural oils. Place the crushed cloves in a small jar and cover them completely with raw honey. Seal the jar and allow the mixture to sit for a few days. Over time, the garlic infuses the honey with its powerful compounds. A small spoonful of this mixture can be taken when the body needs immune support. The honey soothes the throat, while the garlic provides its natural antimicrobial properties. Another simple and delicious way to use garlic is through a classic Mediterranean preparation that has nourished people for centuries. You can make a simple garlic olive oil dip using ingredients that would have been familiar even in ancient times. Take 3 cloves of fresh garlic and mince them finely. Mix them with 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, a pinch of sea salt, and a sprinkle of dried herbs such as oregano or thyme. Allow the mixture to sit for a few minutes so the garlic's flavors can blend with the oil. This mixture can be drizzled over vegetables, bread, or grains, and provides both flavor and nourishment. And yet, even garlic is not the most unusual plant mentioned in the Bible. The next plant on our list played a role in some of the most important rituals described in Scripture. It was used in purification ceremonies, in sacred moments of cleansing, and even in the events surrounding the Passover. This small but powerful herb carried deep symbolic meaning in biblical tradition, and that plant is hyssop.
Some plants in the Bible are remembered for nourishment, others are remembered for healing, but hyssop is remembered for something deeper. Hyssop appears at several powerful moments throughout the Bible, and almost every time it is associated with purification, renewal, and restoration.
One of the earliest and most dramatic appearances of hyssop occurs during the story of the Passover in the book of Exodus. The Israelites were still living in Egypt, and God instructed them to prepare for a moment that would change their history forever. Each household was told to mark the doorposts of their homes with the blood of a sacrificial lamb in chapter 12, verse 22. To apply the blood, they were given very specific instructions about what plant to use. Hyssop was chosen as the instrument of that act, and this small herb became part of a moment that symbolized protection, deliverance, and the beginning of freedom for an entire people. Hyssop appears again later in Scripture in another powerful context, in the book of Psalms chapter 51 verse 7, when King David uses hyssop as a symbol of spiritual cleansing after recognizing his own wrongdoing. Beyond its symbolic meaning, hyssop also had very practical uses in the ancient world. Hyssop is a small aromatic herb that grows in rocky soil and dry climates across the Mediterranean region. It produces clusters of delicate flowers and has a strong herbal fragrance. Ancient people discovered that hyssop possessed remarkable medicinal qualities as well. Traditionally, hyssop was used to treat respiratory conditions such as coughs, congestion, and throat irritation. Its natural compounds help loosen mucus and support clear breathing. People would brew hyssop leaves into teas, inhale its steam vapors, or use the plant in cleansing preparations. Modern research has shown that hyssop contains natural compounds with antimicrobial and powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Today, hyssop is still used in herbal traditions around the world, and you can also prepare hyssop tea at home to get a soothing herbal drink, often used to support the lungs and throat. To prepare hyssop tea at home, place 1 teaspoon of dried hyssop leaves into a cup of hot water. Allow it to steep for about 10 minutes before straining. The tea has a slightly minty, earthy flavor. Many people add a small spoonful of honey and a slice of lemon to create a comforting drink during cold seasons. Another traditional preparation involves creating a simple herbal steam infusion. Place a small handful of hyssop leaves into a bowl of hot water. Lean over the bowl and inhale the rising steam while covering your head with a towel to trap the vapor. This practice has been used for centuries to help clear the respiratory passages and soothe congestion. Thank you for being with us until now, and if you have not hit the subscribe button by now, kindly take a moment to do so to help us grow. Also, hit the like button while you're at it.
Few fruits in the Bible are as visually striking or as symbolically rich as our next plant, pomegranates. With its deep red color and hundreds of jewel-like seeds, the pomegranate has fascinated people for thousands of years. In the ancient world, it was often seen as a symbol of life, abundance, and blessing. The fruit appears repeatedly throughout the Bible, especially in descriptions of beauty, prosperity, and sacred design. One of the most vivid references appears in the Song of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 3, where the pomegranate is used as a symbol of beauty and vitality. The imagery in this chapter reflects how the fruit's deep red seeds were associated with vitality and life. In the book of Exodus, chapter 28, verse 33, God instructs the Israelites on how to design the sacred garments worn in the temple. Along the hem of the priest's robe, artisans were told to attach decorative pomegranates made from blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. The pomegranate was chosen not randomly, but because it symbolized abundance, fertility, and divine blessing. Beyond symbolism, the fruit was also an important part of everyday nutrition in the ancient Middle East. Pomegranate trees grow well in warm, dry climates, and their fruit stores well, making them a valuable food source. Ancient people valued pomegranates not only for their sweetness, but also for their remarkable nutritional properties. Pomegranates are rich in powerful antioxidants known as polyphenols, including compounds called puniculalogens and anthocyanins. These antioxidants help protect the body's cells from damage caused by inflammation and oxidative stress. Studies have suggested that pomegranates may support heart health, improve circulation, and contribute to overall immune function. Beyond its health benefits, the pomegranate is also one of the most enjoyable fruits to eat. Its ruby red seeds burst with a refreshing, slightly tart sweetness that makes them perfect for a variety of dishes. One of the simplest ways to enjoy a pomegranate is exactly as people did in ancient times, by opening the fruit fruit and eating the seeds fresh off the fruit. To prepare a pomegranate at home, slice the fruit in half and gently tap the back of each half with a spoon while holding it over a bowl. The seeds will fall out easily. These seeds, often called arils, can be eaten on their own or added to many meals. A simple and nourishing dish inspired by Mediterranean traditions is a pomegranate and olive oil salad. To prepare it, combine 1 cup of fresh pomegranate seeds with sliced cucumber, chopped parsley, and a small handful of walnuts. Drizzle the mixture with extra virgin olive oil and a squeeze of lemon juice, then add a pinch of sea salt. The result is a refreshing, nutrient-rich dish filled with flavors that have been enjoyed in the regions of the Bible for centuries. Pomegranate seeds can also be blended into juices or sprinkled over yogurt and grains for a naturally sweet and vibrant addition to meals.
Some of the most powerful natural medicines mentioned in the Bible do not grow in fields or orchards. They are created through one of nature's most remarkable processes, and this is where the next gift, called raw honey, comes in. Throughout the Bible, honey appears again and again as a symbol of nourishment, sweetness, blessing, and abundance. In fact, one of the most famous descriptions of the Promised Land in Exodus chapter 3, verse 8 refers to it as a place overflowing with life and prosperity. To the people hearing these words thousands of years ago, honey represented richness, nourishment, and natural sweetness in a world where sugar did not exist as we know it today. Honey was a precious commodity. It was harvested from wild hives hidden in rocky hillsides and hollow trees. Gathering it required patience, skill, and sometimes great courage. One of the most memorable biblical stories involving honey comes from the life of Samson. In the book of Judges, chapter 14, verse 8, Samson once encountered a lion and later returned to the place where the animal had died. Inside the carcass, he discovered something unexpected. Samson scooped the honey out and ate it as he traveled. The story may seem unusual, but it highlights something important, that honey was recognized as a nourishing and valuable food. Even in these ancient accounts, honey appears as a source of strength and vitality. But beyond its sweetness, honey also has remarkable medicinal properties. Raw honey contains natural enzymes, antioxidants, and antimicrobial compounds that help protect the body from harmful bacteria. For centuries, people have used honey as a natural remedy for sore throats, wounds, and infections. In fact, modern medicine has rediscovered many of these ancient uses. Certain medical-grade honeys are now used in hospitals to help treat wounds and burns, because honey naturally helps prevent infection and promotes healing. Honey also has soothing properties that coat the throat and calm irritation. This is why honey remains one of the most trusted natural remedies for coughs and sore throats. Before you go out looking for honey, there is one very important detail that can make all the difference. The most beneficial form of honey is raw honey. We are talking about honey that has not been heavily processed or heated. Raw honey retains its natural enzymes, pollen, and beneficial compounds that support health. Today, there are many simple ways to use raw honey at home. One of the most traditional preparations is a soothing honey and lemon drink. To make it, mix 1 tablespoon of raw honey into a cup of warm, not boiling, water. Add the juice of half a lemon and stir gently. This simple drink is often used to soothe sore throats, support the immune system, and provide gentle hydration. Another powerful traditional remedy combines honey with garlic. As we discussed earlier, garlic contains powerful antimicrobial compounds. When combined with honey, it creates a mixture that many people use during cold and flu season. To prepare it, place several crushed garlic cloves into a small jar and cover them with raw honey. Allow the mixture to sit for a few days so the garlic infuses the honey. A small spoonful can be taken when the body needs extra immune support. Honey also shines in everyday cooking. One simple and nourishing recipe is honey roasted vegetables. Take carrots, sweet potatoes, or squash and place them on a baking tray. Drizzle them with olive oil, a small spoonful of raw honey, and a pinch of sea salt. Roast the vegetables in the oven until they become golden and tender. The honey caramelizes slightly, creating a delicious balance of sweetness and flavor. This kind of preparation reminds us that honey has always been more than just a treat. Raw honey is a powerful and rich source of food, but it is not the most mysterious natural substance mentioned in the Bible. The next plant product on our list traveled across deserts on ancient trade routes and was considered so valuable that it was offered as a royal gift. That substance is frankincense.
Frankincense, also called the sacred healing resin, is one of the most remarkable healing substances mentioned in the Bible that do not come from fruits, leaves, or roots. They come from trees that grow quietly in harsh desert landscapes, producing fragrant resins that have been treasured for thousands of years. Many people recognize the name from one of the most well-known stories in the New Testament, in Matthew chapter 2, verse 11. When Jesus was born, wise men from the east traveled a great distance to honor the child. When they arrived, they presented gifts that were considered among the most precious offerings of the ancient world. These were not random gifts. Gold symbolized kingship. Myrrh was associated with sacrifice and healing. And frankincense was a sacred substance used in worship, medicine, and purification rituals. Frankincense is not a fruit or herb. It is a fragrant resin harvested from trees belonging to the Boswellia family. These trees grow in dry, rocky regions of the Middle East and North Africa. When the bark of the tree is carefully cut, a milky sap slowly flows out. Over time, this sap hardens into golden droplets, known as frankincense resin. For thousands of years, these hardened resin tears were gathered and traded along ancient caravan routes. In fact, frankincense was so valuable that entire trade networks developed around it. The incense routes that carried frankincense across deserts and kingdoms were among the most important commercial pathways of the ancient world. Frankincense was prized for more than its fragrance. Ancient healers quickly noticed that the resin had powerful medicinal properties. When burned, frankincense releases a soothing aroma that has been used for centuries in meditation and prayer. But beyond its calming scent, frankincense contains natural compounds known as boswellic acids. These compounds have attracted the attention of modern researchers because of their potential ability to reduce inflammation within the body. For this reason, frankincense extracts have been studied for their possible role in supporting joint health and overall wellness. Again, we see a fascinating pattern. The same substance that ancient people used in sacred rituals and healing preparations is now being examined by modern science for its biological effects. Today, frankincense is still widely used in several practical ways. One of the most common forms is frankincense essential oil, which is extracted from the resin through steam distillation. This oil is used in aromatherapy. A few drops can be added to a diffuser to create a calming atmosphere that promotes relaxation and focus. Many people also dilute frankincense oil with a carrier oil, such as olive oil or coconut oil, and apply it gently to the skin during massage. Another traditional preparation involves creating a simple frankincense balm. To prepare it at home, melt 2 tablespoons of beeswax in a small bowl placed over warm water. Once melted, mix in 2 tablespoons of olive oil and a few drops of frankincense essential oil. After the mixture cools and solidifies, it forms a smooth balm that can be applied to dry skin or used during massage. This type of preparation echoes traditional ancient traditions, in which healing oils were blended with fragrant resins to support the body. Frankincense reminds us that the biblical world was rich with knowledge about plants and natural substances. People paid attention to the land around them. They observed which trees produced healing sap, which herbs soothed illness, and which foods strengthened the body. This knowledge was passed down through generations and woven into culture, tradition, and scripture. And even today, thousands of years later, frankincense continues to be valued for both its fragrance and its potential health benefits.
Unlike frankincense, which came from distant deserts, mustard grows easily in gardens and fields around the world. It produces small seeds with an intense flavor and surprising medicinal properties. Mustard proves that some of the most powerful things in nature begin in very small forms. Mustard seeds are tiny, so small that they can easily slip through your fingers. Yet despite their size, they grow into strong, resilient plants capable of thriving in difficult conditions.
In the Gospel of Matthew, in chapter 13, verse 31, Jesus used the mustard seed as one of his most famous teaching illustrations, where he explained how something incredibly small could grow into something far greater. But mustard seeds were also a very practical part of daily life in biblical times. Mustard plants grew widely across the Middle East and Mediterranean regions, producing small seeds that could be used for food, medicine, and cooking. Ancient people quickly learned that these tiny seeds possessed surprising strength. When crushed or ground, mustard seeds release compounds that produce heat and stimulate circulation in the body. For centuries, mustard preparations were used to warm the body, relieve muscle discomfort, and support digestion. Traditional healers often used mustard in the form of mustard plasters, which were applied to the chest to help relieve congestion during illness. The warming compounds in mustard seeds helped stimulate blood flow and loosen mucus in the lungs. Modern research has confirmed that mustard seeds contain beneficial plant compounds known as glucosinolates, which are also found in other cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cabbage. These compounds contribute to the plant's strong flavor and may help support the body's natural detoxification processes. Mustard seeds are also surprisingly nutritious. They contain minerals such as selenium and magnesium, along with beneficial antioxidants that help protect the body's cells. Today, mustard continues to be widely used in kitchens around the world. One of the simplest ways to enjoy mustard seeds is by preparing homemade mustard. This traditional condiment requires only a few ingredients and reflects the same culinary practices that have existed for centuries. To make a basic homemade mustard, begin with 2 tablespoons of mustard seeds. Lightly crush them with a mortar and pestle or the back of a spoon. Place the crushed seeds in a bowl and add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of water, a small spoonful of honey, and a pinch of sea salt. Allow the mixture to sit for several hours or overnight so the seeds can soften and absorb the liquid. After resting, the mixture thickens into a flavorful mustard paste that can be used as a spread or seasoning. Another simple and nourishing way to enjoy mustard seeds is in roasted vegetables. Take a tray of chopped vegetables, such as potatoes, carrots, or cauliflower. Drizzle them with olive oil, sprinkle in a teaspoon of mustard seeds, add a pinch of salt and pepper, and roast them in the oven until golden. As the vegetables cook, the mustard seeds release their aroma and add a subtle, warm flavor to the dish. Mustard reminds us that some of the most powerful plants in nature are not the largest or most dramatic. Sometimes they are small, quiet, and easy to overlook, and yet within those small seeds lies extraordinary potential. Before we go on to the last plant here, we want to thank you for sticking with us, and if you have any question, comment, or an insight we may have missed, please feel free to reach out to us via the comments section and we will gladly respond. If you have not yet subscribed, kindly do so now and help us grow so that we can bring you great videos like this in the future. Thank you.
Some substances mentioned in the Bible carried such extraordinary value that they traveled thousands of miles across deserts, mountains, and ancient trade routes to be used on the tables and plates of kings and noblemen. Myrrh was one of those treasures. Like frankincense, myrrh is not a fruit or herb. It is a resin that comes from a tree growing in dry regions of the Middle East and Africa. When the bark of the tree is carefully cut, a thick sap slowly seeps out and hardens into reddish-brown droplets. These hardened resin tears were gathered and traded across the ancient world. For centuries, myrrh was considered one of the most precious natural substances known to humanity. It was used in perfumes, sacred incense, healing oils, and medicinal preparations. It is still used this way even today, but we will get to that in a bit. The Bible mentions myrrh many times, but one of the most memorable references appears in the story of Jesus' birth in Matthew chapter 2, verse 11. When the wise men traveled to Bethlehem to honor the newborn child, they brought 3 gifts that reflected deep symbolic meaning. Each gift represented something significant. Myrrh symbolized healing and sacrifice. Myrrh was not only symbolic, it had very practical uses in everyday life. In the ancient world, myrrh was widely used as medicine. Healers used it to treat wounds, infections, and inflammation. Because myrrh contains powerful antimicrobial compounds, it helped prevent wounds from becoming infected. Myrrh was also used as a pain-relieving ingredient in medicinal preparations. In fact, the Gospel of Mark in chapter 15, verse 23, records that during the crucifixion, Jesus was offered wine mixed with myrrh, a mixture believed to dull pain. This brief moment reveals that myrrh was known as a substance with medicinal and soothing properties. Today, modern science has begun to confirm many of these ancient uses. Myrrh contains natural compounds that have antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant properties. Researchers have studied myrrh for its potential to help support oral health, protect against certain bacteria, and reduce inflammation. In fact, myrrh extracts are sometimes included in natural mouthwashes and dental preparations because of their ability to support gum health. Once again, we see a fascinating connection between ancient wisdom and modern understanding. The same resin used by healers thousands of years ago continues to be studied and valued today. But how can myrrh be used in everyday life? One of the most common modern uses of myrrh is through myrrh essential oil. This oil is extracted from the resin and is often used in aromatherapy or diluted in carrier oils for topical application. When mixed with oils such as olive oil or coconut oil, myrrh oil can be gently applied during massage to support relaxation and skincare. Another traditional preparation involves a myrrh mouth rinse, which has been used in herbal traditions for centuries. To make a simple rinse, place a few drops of myrrh tincture or essential oil into a cup of warm water. Swish the mixture gently in the mouth before spitting it out. This preparation has traditionally been used to support gum health and freshen breath. In ancient times, myrrh was also blended with oils and balms to create healing salves. These mixtures were applied to wounds or irritated skin to help protect and soothe the body. It is remarkable to think that this resin, harvested from desert trees thousands of years ago, traveled across kingdoms and cultures because people recognized its healing power.
When we look closely at the Bible, it becomes clear that the people of the ancient world lived very close to the land. Their food, their medicine, and even their spiritual traditions were deeply connected to the plants growing around them. Modern science continues to confirm many of the benefits these plants provide. The same natural remedies trusted thousands of years ago are still being used in kitchens, gardens, and homes around the world today. So in the next video, we're going to explore plants that are believed to help slow the signs of aging, support the skin, and promote long-term health. Some of them might already be sitting in your kitchen right now. So if you enjoyed discovering these ancient healing plants, make sure you subscribe and join us in the next video as we uncover the powerful anti-aging plants hidden in the Bible.